How far are you willing to go? The drive, the sweat, the blood, the tears, your determination through the pain and all the suffering, people overlooking you, telling you that you're not good enough. You have to believe that you're great. And with you believing that you're great, anything you want to do, you can achieve. No one can stop you. Only you can stop yourself. Keep driving. Keep uplifting yourself. Keep going. Keep going. Nothing, and no one can stop you. That goal you want, you can achieve it. How you inspire people is going to be up to you. Keep going. Never give up. Never give up. Keep going. Never.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Ikon. And once again, we on 910 Sports TV. First and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity, because without him, it would be no us to have this great platform and these great people. Next, I want to introduce my man on to my right, you know what I'm saying, Mr. All-American, everything out there in the VA area. He probably the most traveled coach I ever seen. Every time I'm talking to him, he like, man, I'm about to travel over this game, about to travel over that game. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good because I know he stay out there and stay active. You know what I'm saying? The coach himself, Coach Lamont T. Goins. What's going on, brother?
Man, he put the full name out there. I gotta make sure I ain't got no warrants out there. But no, man, it's always a pleasure to get back on chopping it up. Seems like the weeks are rolling off, but I'm really excited by our special guest tonight and just looking to learn something as we continue on this road we call life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this gentleman introduce himself and kind of just let us know who he is and get into his legendary career. So, sir, would you mind introducing yourself to the world?
Well, Bennie McMurray, um, been in the coaching business roughly 40 years. High school levels at 4 different high schools, in and around South Carolina, basically, in a short time in North Carolina. I've been very fortunate to be around plenty great athletes to help my career to what it is today. Give all the credit to the athletes. I tell people, coaches, we get too much credit for the wins, and we take too much blame for the defeats. But the players, the parents, and it's my family are allowing me to do the things I love to do. And I know I missed a lot being away, but I give a lot of credit to them also.
Okay, so as a athlete, as a coach, did you play like baseball and football, and what sports did you play as a little boy and growing up through like high school, middle school, elementary, and all that?
Oh, well, in high school, well, we always played baseball, a little country baseball team. We started at the church that my father coached. But in high school, I played football and baseball. Um, Baseball was my claim to fame. We won the state championship my senior year in high school from Barr Street High School in Lancaster, South Carolina, and earned an athletic scholarship to South Carolina State University, Bulldog Country. Played down there 4 years. Um, got my degree from South Carolina State 1971 in health physical education. But stayed out of teaching altogether. Didn't think I wanted to do that after I graduated. But then one of my mentors sit me down and had a long, hard discussion with me about my path, my career choices, and it was the greatest decision I ever made was going into education. I thoroughly enjoyed it all over the years.
Okay, so let's talk about a little bit about the baseball career, because I always tell people, because when I was a kid, I played baseball, I played football, I played basketball, and the hardest thing ever for me was to hit a baseball. I think hitting a baseball is probably the hardest thing to try to learn. And that's why I tell people, I say, if you look at it in baseball, think about anything you do in life, especially like when you measure, like school, you have to have a 70 or above to be passing. I said in baseball, you could hit below a 300 and you consider good. If you hit over 3 to 325, you're great. You shoot, if you hit anything above that, you're legendary. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So just kind of talk about the baseball and the discipline and the skill that it takes to play baseball.
You are exactly right. Hitting is one of the toughest athletic skills around. You have to hit a round ball that's coming nowadays upwards 100 miles an hour, that curves, sinks, slider, um, any other pitch you can think about, but you got to hit a round ball with a round. If you get 3 hits out of 10 at bats, which is considered 300, you're doing great. There's plenty of people in the Baseball Hall of Fame who are career 250 and 260 hitters. Very tough skill, takes discipline, a lot of repetition, things you can do to improve your hitting abilities, from short toss, cage work, tee work. Now they have, pitch machines. So, everything now is so high tech. They can analyze your swing. They have motion cameras, detectors that analyze every phase of the swing, from the low, the cock, the explosion, the swing through. Kids nowadays, if they're willing to put in the time and have the abilities, and are fortunate enough to be in a situation or program that has these advanced technological tools, they can make a tremendous living, because baseball, unlike football, football's contracts, unless you get a big signing bonus, that's where football players make their money at. But baseball, once you get baseball, most baseball salaries are guaranteed, and the longevity, the average time for most professional athletes, football wise, is 3 to 4 years. Baseball players, they can swing 7, 8, 10. Some have put 20, 25 years into the league. You talk about people like LeBron James. He's just one of those. I won't call him a freak of nature, because LeBron does everything it takes to keep his body in physical top condition. But baseball players do have more longevity than most other professional sports.
Okay, so before I pass it over to Coach Goins, can just let everybody know Jacob is in the building. He's behind the scenes, but before I pass it over to Coach Goins, so we are in Black History Month. We officially start the Black History Month. So just kind of talk to the people, especially the young people, or whatever, because this definitely will be on our radio station later on this week or whatever. So just talk about to the young people about the important nature of Jackie Robinson, Satchel Paige, and some of these other guys who kind of paved the way for the Black athlete to be able to even play in the MLB. Coach McMurray, can you hear me? Did we lose him for a second?
I think.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did. You want to
Okay.
repeat that question?
Oh, okay. So I was saying, can you just kind of talk a little bit, being that we are in Black History Month, about the importance of the Jackie Robinson, the Satchel Pages, the guys who kind of paved the way, for the Black athlete to even be in the MLB. Okay, because I'm pretty sure you growing up, those were some of the people that you may have looked up to and kind of followed in your life before you started playing baseball, or during the time you was playing baseball? Okay, I don't know if he can hear us or not. Oh,
No.
In my
Yes, I do. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Okay. Those former to play in the major league was
Yeah, I've lost them again on my end.
played in the Negro League had they been given the opportunity. Oh, I'm okay.
You good? You good? I can hear you now.
I'll keep talking.
Okay.
Okay. An opportunity to play in Major League Baseball because of segregation at the time. Cool Bopper Bell, Josh Gibson, Satchel Paige. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And they could easily have played in Major League Baseball and done well. Jackie Robinson was not, and I'm gonna get some controversy from this one, but he was not the best black athlete baseball player at that time. He was one of many, but he was not the best. But what they did with Jackie, they knew Jackie was well versed. He was college educated. He had the temperament, the patience that he could endure all the hostilities, the racism, all the cat calls and things that was thrown at him at that time, and still do good because he was rookie of the year. He ended up being MVP of the league. He had an outstanding tenure in Major League Baseball. So it's a compliment to the earlier players who paved the way for I will say current baseball players, but it's so ironic nowadays. Back in the 70s, late 60s and early 70s, most of your baseball rosters on the Major League Baseball were by blacks. Now it's very difficult to find blacks in Major League Baseball. Now the skin color is dark, but these are Latin American players, Venezuela, Cubans. They're not African Americans. For some reason, baseball is not appealing to our young black athletes. You know, the slam dunk, the behind your back, between your legs, football running over somebody. Baseball, you can stay in a whole game and not, if you're an outfielder, and not get one ball hit to you if you got a pretty good pitcher. So it's it has shifted. It has shifted, and I would love to see more of our young black athletes go back.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny why he
Am I
fires up.
still on?
Yeah, you still go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I had finished that segment. I was
Oh,
waiting
okay,
on you.
okay. Yeah, 'cause it's funny because the one position I used to hate playing was right field when I was a kid, like Little League Baseball, because the ball would never hit my way. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be standing out there just bored like a mug, you know what I mean, or whatever. So I used to hate playing right field. Like I'd rather like put me in left or center, but right field for some reason the players at that time because most of them were right-handed hitters. They didn't understand how to really control the ball, so they always pulling it. So it's either gonna go center or left field. But that right field, a lot of hitters didn't know how to really control the ball and like to get that hit. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't always have to pull a ball the other way. Sometimes you better off hitting it. You know what I'm saying, to that the side that you want, especially if you're trying to get a base runner in, and it's all about shifting and it's all about angles and stuff like that. So sometimes the way you hit the ball is going to be more effective than always trying to hit with power. You know what I mean? And when you little, you always trying to hit with power, so you always going to pull the ball in most cases. You know what I mean? So the ball would never. And then most had batters at that age.
And actually,
Go ahead.
no, I was going to say, excuse me for cutting you off, but right field, is probably one of the most difficult positions to play because ball coming off the bat of a right-handed batter is slicing,
Mm-hmm.
and you just got that tail on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the furthest, one of the furthest positions from home plate to me. Got to
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
strong arm with your right fielder. So
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the most difficult positions to play. Not much happens out there, but people say baseball is boring. I mean, it takes the average person don't know the strategy involved in baseball. You know, with get the run on base. Do you steal? Do you bunt him across? Do you double steal? Do you hit and run? There's so many strategies. How do you set your feelers to the
Mm-hmm.
field? The same things I just said. So it's a lot of strategy involved. It's just not like go out, throw the ball, hit the ball, catch the ball, run. It's a lot of strategy involved.
It's very intense. Baseball is very, very intense when you on the field. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we used to play them night games down there, Lamont down there off of Morgan Road. Man, them games be so intense. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, brother,
It's a
like
great
that
sport.
baseball, baseball and football field was on the same field. But I'm telling you, the baseball games was intense. You know what I'm saying? So, for that was a lot of stress for a kid.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Lamont. I know you got another coach. I know you got some questions.
Yes, sir. So again, Coach McMurray, just congratulations on just a stellar career and just outstanding achievements from top to bottom. So I got to open this up with a joke from Sanford and Son. Is when they were talking about Lamont. So he said, "What kind of cologne you got on?" He said, "Brute." He said, "Brute." He said, "Yeah, Willie Mays wears it." He said, "That's why they got him stuck out there in center field." All right, so that's my one liner there. So in that, Coach, here's what I want to do. I'm going to call a couple positions. And I want you to tell me what player comes to mind when I call a position. It can be from any time era. This is all about. I just want to hear what's on your mind when I call certain positions. So I'm going to start from behind the dish. If you had to put somebody behind home plate, who would you have wearing the gear?
Johnny Bench.
All right. If you had to put somebody in the hole, who would it be?
Reggie Ozzie Smith.
Okay.
Mm.
If you had to have your all right, so I'm going to let you name all the outfielders starting from left field.
Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Roberto Clemente.
Mm.
Dave
Shoo!
Parker, close second in right field behind
Yes,
Clemente.
sir. Yes, sir. The
Mm.
Cobra. How about that?
Mm.
I tell you what. You know what? I'm a baseball guy. People that and
Now
I played.
there's a lot.
Say again.
Say that
But
again.
I said no. I played baseball during school and was never a great baseball player, but I classify myself as average, but I love the game, and that's why I just with your background, I just had to run that real quick just to kind of see where how would you put those guys in position, and I agree 100%. And I was a catcher. My favorite catcher was Johnny Bench, without a doubt. So I appreciate you playing along with me on that segment. So here's my question to you. So if you had to, and I love what you said in reference to the young African Americans not playing the game. Do you think it is because of the price of the game of baseball is now? What I mean, because you go out and the average bat that you got to buy is $300 and everything that is set up to is it set up to weed the black player out, or is it something that it still has room for? Because when I look around, there's not a lot of black kids in where I live in Virginia that play high school baseball. I just want to get your thoughts on that.
You're right. A lot of factors because a lot of these travel ball teams that the kids play on in the summer. And it takes a tremendous amount of money to be on a travel ball team, from, like you said, bets, um, travel, gloves, shoes. It adds up, and a lot of sad to say, a lot of young African Americans just can't afford it. It's not a high priority to go to the park and play basketball. All you need is a ball.
Yep.
And if you own any football team, well, the school's gonna supply everything you need. But even on a high school baseball team, you got to come up with a bat and a glove. And like you said, a $300 bat, a $150 glove, that adds up. And we're still not talking about your shoes.
Yes,
So
sir.
from affordability, just not being exposed to it again. And I give credit to the major leagues at one time. I don't know if they still doing this, but they have been going back into a lot of the communities in high Afro-American communities and bringing baseball back to the black kids over the summer months, putting them in baseball programs. So there is a need always there. But I would say affordability would be probably, in my estimation, would be the biggest factor.
Yes, sir. All right. Appreciate that. All right, Jacob, I see you standing out there, man. You must be in the bullpen warming up.
Hello. I'm here. How's everybody?
All right.
Good.
So, Coach McMurray, what I want to talk about is what a lot of people don't give baseball credit for, but baseball is that sport where your eye coordination has to be on key. And so, let's talk about the eye coordination of a baseball player, because we are talking about a ball that's coming 90 to 110 miles per hour, and you have to hit that ball. And some of these guys hit home runs, hit it out the park. Some might do a shot down third base line, a shot down first base line, or some might hit it in between the shortstop and the second baseman. You know what I mean? But you got to have good eye coordination to hit a baseball. Let's talk about that.
Well, as I said earlier a minute ago, before you got on, hitting is one of the most difficult athletic skills around. The basket doesn't move; it just sits there. So if a basketball player, if he shoots, 70% from the free throw line, that's considered good. If he's 50% from the floor, that's good. Heck, if he's 30% from the 3-point arc, that's super good. The basket doesn't move. Baseball, as I said earlier, you got a round bat trying to hit a round ball that's coming in and excesses 95 to 100 miles an hour. The ball curves, the ball sinks, the ball dips. There's a slider. There's the three-finger off speed. It's so many different pitches that pitchers throw now. But yet, some of these guys still can muster tremendous power. You look at these guys who hit 50, 40 home runs a year at the major league level. That's phenomenal. And they do it consistently. It's that hand-eye coordination, and it takes time over the years from skills, like I said earlier, skills to help improve that hand-eye coordination. Starts with short toss, T-work, pitch machines. Everything's designed now to make that skill easier to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Coach. So I hear we talking about these pitching scenes, but I grew up poor, so we didn't have no pitching scenes, and so it was always a mentor that had all the boys on the back of their truck, taking the boys from city to city to play baseball in the summertime, and it was three or four of them that had you out there on that baseball field, teaching you what they have learned, and and teaching you the skill set, the game, and the discipline of baseball. So I feel like we don't have enough mentorship nowadays, and and where's the essence of the community and mentorship, teaching, and uh, being that figure for kids to look up to. Because if Mr. Bill said do something back in the day, you did it. But he also taught you a skill set on the baseball field, and taught you how to be a gentleman as well. You know what I mean? Along with you having good parents. So I think the mentorship that we had back in the day went hand in hand with becoming great athletes. Would you agree?
Most definitely. And when you talked about the kids on the back of the truck, it reminded me of my father. Like I said, he was our little country baseball coach. And it reminded me of me back in my days at Louisville. I had a pickup truck. Kids didn't have a way to practice. Well, you go get them and you load them
That's
on the
right.
back of your truck. You take them, you pick them up, take them home. Things you can't do now. They don't allow you to take kids home. Uh, don't know what happened to the educational system along the way, and I spent a lifetime in it. But we changed so many things that didn't hurt none of us. The things that were taught to us, like you said, those men that not only tried to teach kids some skills on the baseball field, but they taught them life skills too. You had men, mentors in the community, like you said, that these kids looked up to, and they instilled in some of these young men, young boys, uh, fatherhood, responsibility, doing what's right. It's so easy now for our young men to follow the wrong kind of people in the out there. It's
Mm.
so easy to be enthralled about the guy standing on the block or with the flashy car and the wad of money, and but he's doing all the wrong things. And like I used to tell my kids, my players, I say, well, that drug money is short time. Short
Mm.
time. I never seen a drug dealer retire. Never seen one retire. They either retire to jail or the graveyard. So um, putting those life skills back with these young men that you and I got back in the day, it's a foregone art now, and it's something that we as a people we need to do with our young people.
I most definitely agree with that. Back to you, Icon.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to say this to you, Coach. Also to piggyback what Coach Goins was saying about when we talk about the baseball and not being affordable. The one thing I always wanted to say, always said was, I feel like, and you just tell me what your thoughts on this is. I feel like the community, if you need the community, like let's say you've got like businesses in the community, whether it's the bigger businesses or the smaller businesses need to contribute and put money back into the community as far as whether it's $100 a month or 150 something where they're sponsoring a team. Because Coach Goins can attest to this. Back in where we stayed from the Southern Pines, North Carolina area, when you go past those baseball fields and stuff, you see 20 different sponsors on that wall. You know what I'm saying? So they getting their money from somewhere in the community, whether it's the doctor's offices, the dentist offices, or something, or whatever the construction companies. Somebody's paying for these kids to be able to play these sports, and I feel like the community, especially if they don't want to complain about the kids being in these streets, then give back because you patronizing the community by you want us to come spend our money in your establishment. So this is the way you can give back to the same community that you're eating off of. So what's your thoughts about that before we move on to the football stuff a little bit?
Yes, I agree. And don't forget about our churches.
Mm.
Mhm.
But
Amen.
nowadays it's hard to get young men, young people back in the church.
Mhm.
When we were coming up, and I was a grown man. I was 22 years old. I'll never forget. home from that graduated from college and go out on Saturday night. You know how you were. We did a lot of things, stay out late. But God bless my daddy. God bless him. He always told us, I don't care where you go on Saturday night, but I know where you're gonna be on Sunday morning. And we were there. We were in church. So
Hey, yes, sir.
community man, community people. Yes, give back. Those who have business, find ways to let's get these young men back, because what I can't understand, and it just tears me up, what has happened in a 14 or 15-year-old's young, short life, that they can take a gun out and take a life. Just, and don't think nothing of it. We are losing our young men to the streets. We're losing them at alarming rates. And if we aren't careful, in 10, 15 years, we won't have any.
Yeah. Because before we get to the football, but the thing about it is I graduated in '94, and I can name on probably both my hands how many classmates I lost, and most of them wasn't from violence. Most of them was probably from disease or car accident or something freakish like that. And when I listen to my kids, and they've lost 10, they graduated like 19, 20, 21 or whatever, and they've lost probably 10 or 15 of their people they went to school over the last 5, 6 years. That they knew from gun violence, from street stuff. And I'm just like, that's crazy to me to hear that number at such a high rate, to hear that on a daily basis. So, but yeah, you're right about us. If we don't be careful, we're gonna lose all our youth before the older people get a chance to get old and then or whatever. But anyway, so let's move on to the football side of things. Well, let me say this, Coach, you kind of like the Pat Riley, or more like the Phil Jackson of championships, aren't you? Like, won like 8 titles. You know what I mean? So just talk about your success level and what you kind of attribute that to.
Between football and baseball, we I say we, not me. We have 8 state championships.
Shoo.
We have 5 in baseball, 5 baseball state championships, and 3 football state championships. We have 2 state runner-ups in baseball, and 2 state runner-ups in football, and ungodly region championships or quarterfinal or runner-up, state runner-up, semifinalists. So we've done well. We've done exceedingly well. I think it's like 429 and 109 in baseball, and 219 and I think 101 in football.
Wow.
Combined records.
Good grief.
And so what do you just kind of attribute to that legacy, and what do you say was the key to basically being, coaching and having such success?
Well, first of all, it starts with the athletes. I mean, any coach that's got any salt or senility about himself, he'll tell you athletes make coaches. Athletes. I mean, look at Coach K at Duke. He had the best athletes in the world. Dean Smith at North Carolina. All the great coaches who have all these phenomenal coaching records, they had great athletes. Now, don't get me wrong. You got to coach those superstars too. You still got to coach them. But great athletes make great coaches. I tell people, a jackass never has won Kentucky Derby. None but thoroughbreds. So when you coach, you want to coach thoroughbreds. And I've been very blessed as a coach to be around and help develop some great athletes. We have 4 that went through the NFL. One went Major League Baseball, and ungodly numbers that have gone on to play D1, D2, D3 athletics.
Wow.
Go ahead, Coach Goins. If you got something.
Yeah, I guess I guess Coach McMurray, he's got to have extra heavy support at this house just to hold up all that weight, all that hardware in there on the walls, and extra heavy duty sheetrock, because when you line up all of those championships, that is just, just to be able to spend time with you, Coach. It's just an honor and a privilege, and the lives that you've touched over your career is just it's just astronomical. And again, just congratulations on your full entire body of work. So here's my question: as you name those players off, I'm gonna put you on the spot right here. Out of you, and I guess it's a two-part question. First question is, what year would you classify your greatest baseball team, and what year would you classify your greatest football team?
Ooh, tough questions. I guess you would say, or could say, and it's not necessarily the greatest, but one that's, all of them are great. I'm gonna put it this way: all of them are great. Every win is great. Every championship is great. My first, or our first football state championship stands out. Because we won it on the road in overtime. My first baseball state championship, it was like a three-peat: 85, 86, and 87, back to back. We were state champions. So all mean a lot. I can probably remember the losses more than I do the wins, because to me, a loss stays with me longer. What could I have done differently? Why did I do this? Why did I not throw the ball? Why did I run the football here? Or why didn't I change pitches? Well, why did I not change pitches? Things like this stay with you. But someone asked me, well, what sports do you like the best, football or baseball? And I always told them the one that I'm coaching.
Yep.
If I'm coaching football, I like football the best. If I'm coaching baseball, I like baseball the best. When I was coaching it. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Excellent. All right, Jacob, what you got, bro?
So, Coach, what is your biggest lesson from being a coach all these years you've been a coach? And what has the student athletes taught you, you know, for you to be coaching that long, because we all know that we can learn from younger people every day, so what are some of the lessons that you learn from younger people?
I would say listen to your athletes. It's not always the coach's way, because some of my best athletes made a lot of decisions on the field, and you have to listen to them at times. Now, sometimes the things they want to do don't make sense, but if it's sound, Shrine Bowl coach. I was first black Shrine Bowl coach for the state of North Carolina.
Wow.
Shrine Bowl in South Carolina. North South coach. It's I'm not going to say it is, but it is amazing that some of the things that we did. I still get a thrill when players call me and say, Coach, I thank you for what you did for me out the clear blue. And this is no lie, just coincidental. I got a text this morning and it said, well, if I went on my phone here, I'd lose y'all. So I ain't gonna even touch my phone because I'm not tech savvy. But it was from a former player. And he said, "Is this you, Coach Mack?" That's all I get was Coach Mack. He said, "I want to thank you for what you did for me, and I love you." I didn't know the number. So I texted him back and I said, "Well, that's great. I appreciate the compliment. But by the way, who am I talking to?" Then he texted back and told me who it was. And then I picked up the phone. Man, I said, "What we texting for? Let's talk." I mean, I can't talk to a text. So we talked for about 30 minutes. He's married, doing well, 2 kids and 1 on the way. Things like that. Kids will call you out the blue or see you somewhere downtown. And they can tell you every little thing I did to them. When I would jack them up, or when I grabbed that face mask and turn it upside down, or when I would get close to them and say an adult word or two, not unrepeatable. But it was never. I've never had one that said, "Coach, you did me wrong." It was always, "I appreciate what you did for me." And I have a thing that I always like to refresh myself with is, kids don't care what you know, as long as they know you care.
Mhm.
If an
Well said.
athlete know you care for them, do the little things, they'll do anything for you. They'll do anything for you. Because I used to tell them, I say now, when school starts, I would put all the football players' name in every teacher's box, varsity JV team. And I tell those teachers, you have any problem out of any one of these young men, let me know, and I'll handle it. Now, if it's severe enough, take it to the office, and I'm still going to handle it. But if it's something that I can handle and make your daily life easier, let me know. And I will always tell the kids, the players, that if I get a report, that's me and you. Because if you go in there, sit down, pay attention, and do what you can, because your full-time job is to be a student. That's your job. If you do your job, I'm not going to get a referral from that teacher. Because we had a little thing I used to call hour of opportunity. If teacher would send me a text or note or put a note in my box that Coach Mike Barber did this in my class today. He was disrespectful, didn't have homework, whatever. Then me and Mike Barber going to have an hour of opportunity after practice to modify that behavior.
Shoo.
And the hour of opportunity comes at the end of football practice, and it's not nice. It's not nice. So they would behave basically, always somebody's going to do something. But for the most part, all the athletes did a great job. I would always tell them, I can't help you go to the next level if you don't help yourself first. And what I mean by that is, if you go in the classroom and do what you're supposed to do, then we can help you go somewhere. Everybody can't play D1 sports. Everybody can't play D2. Everybody can't play D3 or NAIA. But we can help you go somewhere. 4 years is 4 years.
That's
a degree is a degree. Education is education, something that they can't take from you. Now, granted, you may not get a job in your field, but at least you have the necessary tools to help you along in life.
Wow.
And we stayed by that philosophy all the times that I coached. We stayed by that, and it was great. I'm seriously, I enjoyed. I used to couldn't wait to get up to get to school. That's just how much I wanted to get there. I've been approached by a couple of people here in the last few years about coming out of retirement, but no, it's time to move on, because sooner or later it's time for everybody to move on and let some of these other young, talented coaches with a different viewpoint, a different philosophy, to come along and carry the mantle.
Wow. Well said. Well said.
Yeah, well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on tonight, giving us your time. Or whatever, you could have been anywhere. You decided to be with us crazy fools. And so I definitely learned a lot, and it was always good to get knowledge from what they would call a triple OG. So it's always good to get knowledge from an older person, an elder person, and just to kind of understand the game, especially the baseball side. I think that's why we stayed on that so long, because we don't get a lot of baseball people on here. And when you get that knowledge, especially from, we talked all the way back from Jackie Robinson and Satchel Paige and Josh Gibson, and a lot of people forget about those guys. And you're right. Jackie Robinson was the guy that they used for it because they knew how he could handle it, but he dang sure wasn't the best out of that group. Whatever, he was just the one that could handle the backlash and all the stuff that was going, the vitriol and all the stuff that was going to come at him. He was the one that could handle it. And so, God, I would say God knew what he was doing by allowing him to be picked, because I think Bob Gibson and the rest of them guys, I don't know, they might have tore up the field and everybody else on it. You know what I mean? You would have got some of them other guys, Bob. You would have got some other guys. Don't tell what they would have done. Especially getting spit at and all that kind of crazy stuff. I already know that. I don't know. I don't know about me. I don't know if I could have handled that. I know it couldn't have been me. You know what I mean? Especially how I could be sometimes. So I was like, oh, no, you spit on me one time.
Back
Go ahead.
in the
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Coach.
Back in the late 60s.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember back in the late 60s when the four of us was the first blacks to integrate the American Legion baseball program in Lancaster.
Wow.
And, it was still areas, because we were at the all-black school and the white players were at the white school. So it was still segregated. But and I give the head coach some credit, because he wanted to win too. Now, don't get me wrong, because we had just come off a state championship in 1967, spring of 1967, four of us. And the Lancaster High baseball team was mediocre. They never did do anything back then. But when he invited us, he came over to the school, over to Barr Street, sit down with the principal, and they called all of us to the office. I'll never forget this as long as I live. And he sat down and talked to us and told us he wanted us to play baseball on the American Legion baseball team. And he went into some details. He's going to say, now, some of the places we're going to go, you might hear the N word, a boy, Roscoe, anything. And he was right back then. But that man gave me my first teaching job and my first baseball coaching job. It shows you how life so goes in a circle. He remembered me playing baseball on his American Legion baseball team, and he was the principal of Beaufort High School, and he called and sent for me to come out there and coach baseball for him. So it was a blessing, something that I didn't even see developing back then, because 4 or 5 years later, I graduated in 71. This was 1967. In 1967, I went out there, and he gave me my first coaching job.
Wow. Oh, well, we're going to end it.
You don't know with life. You don't know what things come.
Yeah, well, we're going to end it with that. That was a great story. And like you said,
listen, that's guys, the way. I am so honored.
Okay, I don't know if we could hear her. Yeah, go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
Okay, I just want to say thank you, Coach Goins and and yourself and the other gentleman that came in. I'm just honored that you guys would want me to share a few moments of knowledge and conversation with you. I'm very humble, and I appreciate the offer.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Anytime. You have a great, wonderful week.
Ikon,
Yes.
I want to say shout out to Randy Page for sending Coach to us.
I already know it had to be Randy Page. I already knew. Randy Page is like our behind the scenes recruiter, because he be sending so many people to us, boy. Should we start making some real money? We got to put him on payroll. People he saying, boy, good Lord. Well, yeah, shout out to Randy Page. He's a real good guy, man. And he's our biggest supporter. I'd say that much. He definitely is. But so shout out to Randy Page. So everybody have a blessed and wonderful evening. And y'all stay safe and stay warm,
Yes, sir.
because it's still cold out there.
Absolutely. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you, guys. Have a blessed night.
Thank you, Coach.